So over the off-season this year, we brought in a lot of new faces into the Rabbitohs squad, and one of those was Taane Milne, and he came to us with a previous injury from last year. So it was on the 14th of March last year that Taane did his ACL in a reserve grade game. He was playing for the Warriors at the time. And then obviously we know that time that was the COVID hit, and a lot of those surgeries and elective surgeries got put on hold at that point in time. So Taane had to wait 2 months to get his ACL operation, which is quite unique. And it put him in a bit behind the 8 ball on starting that rehab. So it was on around about the 14th of May that he got that surgery done, 2 months post ACL, and we know from that surgery point in time, it's normally a 9-month process. However, with Taane being 2 months between injury and surgery, and then also had a delay of 2 months before he started his rehab, that really put him backwards. And so it's been a really, really big effort for Taane to run out and play his first game in 399 days this weekend for our Knock-On Effect Cup team. So with Taane, that initial period, once he started his rehab in May, it was about giving him a really good block of strength work. So we know with the ACLs, they lose a lot of stability, they lose a lot of strength in the lower body, and you need to regain a lot of that back. He basically spent 4 months in the gym, re-strengthening his knee, doing a lot of exercises like squats, RDLs, a lot of double leg movements, and regaining a lot of movement back in that knee, just trying to move normal again. But we really needed to make sure we went through a really rigorous process of strengthening and re-strengthening, getting full control back in his quads muscles, hamstrings muscles, calf muscles, before we looked at returning to run Taane. So when all of our NRL squad from last year went on holidays at the end of October and had 4, 6, 8 weeks off, depending on who they were, Taane was in here working with us daily, every day, 5 days a week, starting to build up his running loads, because he really had a target of trying to train full pre-season with the NRL. Unfortunately, we know with rehab that it's always 2 steps forwards, 1 step back. Taane didn't reach that target of training full pre-season, so that was going to delay his return to play. So we sort of had to build up his running loads over the November, December period, start to really build confidence in him running straight lines, make sure that we clear running straight lines over longer distances than just the 10, 100 metre running session that he started with. So we're starting to build into sort of 4.5, 5.5K running sessions, interval work, different kind of intervals, 15 seconds, 30 seconds, that kind of thing, as well as working on his quality of being able to sprint, because we know that's an important marker for return to ACL as well, is that sprint performance. So as well as working on the volume, worked on the quality of his sprint work, but it was all very linear, it was all very straight line. We had to be really careful with the offline progressions. While he was going through that return to run program, inside in the gym, he started working a lot more laterally. Started doing lateral hops, more dynamic work in the gym. We use gymnastics for a lot of this dynamic stuff and get his confidence in moving offline. We're trying to build that confidence inside before we start introducing agility outside. So it wasn't until January that Taane started agility. So we're now talking close to 10 months post initial injury, close to 6 months post surgery, that we started doing agility work with Taane, and here's where we started to see him really progress. And we sort of went on a pretty linear mark from that point in time, and that once we started doing agility movements, he just built in confidence over session, over session, over session. It was about getting time and getting reps in that before we then returned to train and do contact with the team. It was on the 2nd of March this year, so almost 12 months post initial injury, almost 10 months post training, that Taane returned to full training with the team. So we'd done a lot of agility, a lot of contact work, a lot of low level skills on the sideline with the rehab and physio team. Done a lot of dynamic offline work and jumping and contact with the coaches and with our strength and conditioning team. And then after we pieced all that together, we finally cleared Taane to return to training in early March. So that's now put us 6 weeks ago from now. And then a 6-week training build up for Taane and doing all of the football work, 13v13, all of the full contact training work to get him to this point now. He's just cleared his final training session and he's cleared to play this weekend. So it's a big effort from Taane. It's a positive story for us here at the Rabbitohs. It's 341 days since his surgery, 399 days since he last played, and now he gets to run out in a Rabbitohs jersey for our Knock-On Effect Cup side on the weekend. So it's a real positive tick for Taane and a testament to the work that he's put in.